Good morning. It's Liz. It's day 3 of the August Pick Your Practice Daily Challenge. And how are you all doing? Are we having fun yet? I don't even know. I have to admit, I am still getting into my groove. I'm not quite at I'm having fun mode, but that's my intention that we are going to get there. We're just going to take this one day at a time. And today is only day 3. But today is an important day because today we're going to be examining what's been holding us back from doing our daily practice, whether it's in this challenge or just even before this challenge. Like, what has been actually preventing us from doing something? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's super important. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Liz Gutierrez, and I'm a psychiatrist who helps connect people to their true nature and their place of belonging in the natural world. And here we are, day 3. If you're just joining us, go back and watch day 1 and 2. It was really, I think, a helpful way to kickstart this challenge with a visualization and a commitment ceremony. But I think, even as we've visualized ourselves being successful and we've committed to this process, if we don't examine all the barriers that have been holding us back from actually doing what we want to do in our lives, then we're just going to end up going back to our old patterns after this challenge ends. And I don't want that for you. I don't want this just to be a challenge that you do and then you go back and revert to an old habit. I want you to continue to grow and progress and evolve. And to do that, we need to be honest with ourselves and look at the resistance that we've had in our lives to doing what we most want to do. And so today's invitation for those of you who are following along and joining me in this challenge is to examine all the reasons why it's been difficult for you to do whatever you've chosen to do in your daily life. So I want you to take some time, to write down all the barriers, all the excuses, all the beliefs, all the limiting beliefs you might have around doing whatever it is you have not been able to do and would like to do in your life. And I'm going to share with you what were my beliefs that were holding me back from doing a daily Facebook Live, because I think it's helpful to have examples. And for me, I'm going through this process right along with you. This is not easy for me. I seriously woke up this morning. I'm like, oh my God, it's only day 3. What did I sign up and challenge myself to do? Not only for myself, but to do publicly, to say I'm going to be showing up live, and people will know if I don't show up. People will see if I decide I'm not going to do this anymore. What have I done? So I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you guys. We're just going to take this day by day. So the beliefs that were holding me back from doing a Facebook Live prior to this month, these were some of the beliefs I had, is I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. What will people think of me? Will people even listen? I don't want to be on social media every day. That's a lot of work. And what's the point again? So those were just some of the beliefs that came up as I was reflecting on, why haven't I been doing a Facebook Live before? And that was just it came up right away. That was just surface level stuff. If I really spent some time and dug deeper, which I invite you to go as deep as you want with this exercise, there's probably beliefs and fears around visibility and judgment and accountability and just, showing up as myself, like, it feels very vulnerable. It feels very exposing. But here I am, I'm doing it. And so I invite you to just show up for yourself. Like we talked about yesterday in commitment. You're committing to yourself. You're committing to your life. And in that, you are honoring yourself and honoring life itself. And I wanted to break down a little bit about how our limiting beliefs hold us back. One of my business mentors right now, James Wedmore, goes through this entire 9-step belief busting system that's actually really powerful. And I think it's too much to share in the context of our daily lives. I might share it, I might break it down, but it's definitely something that has been helpful to me and something that I will be incorporating into my Live Your Nature program that I'm going to launch next month, because it's really powerful. But let's just use my beliefs as an example so I can show you part of the process. So let's just pick the 2 beliefs that I listed that felt really alive for me about why I wasn't doing a daily Facebook Live. And I think the first barrier was this belief, like, I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. And on the flip side of that is, will people even listen to me? So those were kind of like the 2 biggest beliefs that were holding me back from doing something. This lack of confidence or fear that I had anything of value to share or say, and what would I say on a daily basis? And would people even listen? Would people even care about what I had to say? And so it's important for me to recognize those beliefs. And then James invites us to be honest with ourselves about even though these might be limiting beliefs holding us back, what is there might be a benefit to me having this belief system. Like, what's the benefit to me having this belief system? It's important to examine that, because our belief systems benefit us in some way. And if I really ask myself, what's the benefit of holding on to these beliefs? The benefit is that I wouldn't have to show up. I wouldn't have to be vulnerable. I wouldn't have to risk showing up on a daily basis, maybe having nothing to say, and maybe having no one listen to me. Like, no one listened to me live, no one listened to my replays, like, have big fat 0 views. So by having these beliefs, I wouldn't even have to show up and test them. I could just not do it. And that would save me from the vulnerability of exposure and maybe like full on confirming my beliefs that I had nothing to say. That no one would listen. If you do happen to be listening, drop me a comment. If you find anything that I have been sharing recently valuable, I would appreciate it if you let me know that I am listening, or what you're doing, what you're showing is having an impact. And thank you to those who have already been doing that. It actually really helps, because if what I do has an impact on at least one person in a positive way, then that is enough for me to get up each morning and keep doing these things that are uncomfortable and vulnerable for me. So back to examining what my beliefs were and what was the benefit of me holding on to this belief. This benefit was protecting me from actually exposing myself. But then I started thinking about, if I don't show up, if I don't do a daily live, like how many views am I going to get? Like zero. Like I'm going to get zero views. And how many people are going to listen to me? Zero people are going to listen to me. And so either way, my biggest fear is if I do it and get zero listens, or if I don't do it and definitely get zero listens, then either way, if my what's driving me is to actually share myself with others, then I will definitely not be able to share myself with others if I don't show up and share. And it's not about how many views or listens I get, because at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about me showing up for life and sharing myself with life as an honoring of life itself. Life is the gift that I am honoring by showing up. And that leads into something that I'm going to talk about tomorrow, which is like the big why. Like why? What? Like answering the question of what's the point? Like it's helpful for you to have a big why so that you can always fall back on that in the moments of doubt and limiting beliefs. So that's for tomorrow. And it's been really good practice for me to not get too ahead of myself, to really just be more spontaneous and more relaxed and trusting that if I just show up and my pure intention is to share and honor life, that life itself, source energy, creative source energy, will be fueling and inspiring my work. So to be honest, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about for 31 days. And that's very unfamiliar and uncomfortable for me. I usually am someone that wants to know what's going on and how I'm going to show up and what I'm going to be talking about. And yet when we get too rigid and like clenching and like we want to be in control of the show, we actually close ourselves off from the greater source of creative energy, flow, and truth. So I am going to trust in that more than my ego, and just to show up and be an open vessel for source to flow through me. Okay, so I think that is all I wanted to cover today. Really having you examine the barriers, the excuses, the beliefs that have been holding you back from doing what it is you want to most do in your life, or even just this simple practice. And so spend some time, journal on that, private message me if you want, or comment if you feel comfortable, and share with me what comes up for you. Because, this is co-creative, collaborative. I'd love to hear what would be more helpful to you. And we'll just continue doing this together, day by day. All right, guys, have a good Monday. Kick off the week. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.